The Fox and the Old House. It all began in a lonely village, near a dilapidated house. A notice was spread everywhere. Whoever dares to stay in this house for one night will receive a reward. Not many had the courage to accept the challenge, but a young man named Rashad decided to take it on. He was in search of adventure, and this seemed like an intriguing opportunity. As night fell, Rashad approached the house. The rustling of dry leaves, the distant howling of foxes, and the cold wind's moan created an eerie atmosphere. When he opened the door, the creak echoed terrifyingly in the dead silence. Inside, it was dark, dusty, and damp. Old portraits hung on the walls, their eyes seemingly following his every move. Rashad lit a candle in one of the rooms. The weak light made the room look even more sinister. Every shadow, every sound heightened his tension. After a while, he heard a slow scratching sound coming from the wall. It was as if someone was doing something behind the wall. Despite his fear, Rashad decided to investigate the source of the sound. Following the noise, he entered another room. Upon entering the room, Rashad saw an old door in the wall. When he opened the door, a sharp smell wafted out. Inside, the room was filled with old furniture, dusty objects, and most importantly, a black chest in the corner. He decided to open the chest, but as soon as he did, a piercing scream echoed, and a wave of cold air filled the room. Suddenly, Rashad found himself unable to move. A shadowy figure emerged from the chest, slowly approaching him. Rashad wanted to scream, but no sound came out. As the shadow drew nearer, a sudden fox's howl echoed throughout the house. The howl was so powerful that the walls started to tremble. When the shadow disappeared, Rashad could finally move again. Realizing the sound was repeating, Rashad decided to leave the house. But when he reached the door, he found it wouldn't open. It was as if someone was trying to keep him inside. Again, he heard the sound, this time closer and more terrifying. Rashad dropped his candle and started to run back. He entered a room and locked the door. Inside, there was a small window. Looking through it, he saw something moving in the garden. On closer inspection, he saw that it was a fox. But this fox was no ordinary one. Its eyes glowed like flames, and it stared at Rashad for a few seconds before disappearing. Unsure of what to do, Rashad pulled out his phone with trembling hands and tried to make a call. But there was no signal. It was as if he was isolated from the whole world inside this house. Suddenly, a light flashed from the window. Looking closely, he saw that the light was coming from within the house. Caught between fear and curiosity, Rashad decided to follow the light. It led him to a large room. In the center of the room was a large mirror. As he approached the mirror, he saw his reflection, but there was nothing behind him. Suddenly, a hand emerged from the mirror and pulled him in. When Rashad opened his eyes, he found himself in another world. This place was dark, misty, and cold. There was no one around, but whispers from afar were calling his name. He tried to escape this world, but the paths were closed. From that moment on, Rashad's entire world turned into this horrifying realm. No one ever knew what happened to him, and no one dared to enter that old house again.